The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of this movie is you watch this movie because it's that dang good from 1999. Mind blowing, Philadelphia Weekly, bold, bruising humor, says Peter Travers, and savagely funny, says the Chicago Tribune. A ticking time bomb, insomniac, and a slippery soap salesman channel primal male aggression to a shocking new form of therapy. Their concept catches on with underground quote-unquote fight clubs forming in every town until a sensuous and mysterious woman comes between the two and ignites an out-of-control spiral towards oblivion. Oh yeah, but that's just the beginning, folks. There is more to it than that. There is the blood, there is the bare-knuckle brawling, there is just the what seems to be a little two people, but lo and behold, over 2.6 million people have seen it. It turns out it's the exact same person. The dual identity, it itself taking consciousness of the wondering of what we really are, and why is it that the unnamed narrator could never capture Tyler Durden going on an all-out quest to try and find him. And I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, I've heard of this movie before. I mean, I even watched it 6 years ago, and it was a good movie, but it didn't really resonate with me then. And now I still enjoy it, and yes, it is definitely worthy of its status. Obviously, this is a movie aimed for people in their 30s. I mean, me being in my mid 30s, it's like, yeah, now I understand more about what it is. It's more about like Generation X, who has had a carrot dangled in front of them, saying, "Hey, you can have this way of living. You can go ahead and have this house, and you can go ahead and like say, hey, you're gonna be a rock star. This is the life that's gonna go. You just have to go and work for it." But ultimately, what happens when you put in all the effort and you don't receive any results? Absolutely nothing. You become just, as we see in all the characters here, whether if it's a guy, a waiter, or a person who works or like a bartender, as they feel just like they're not even living. But when they all combine together inside the Fight Club, they say, "Hey, now we actually feel like we have a purpose here in life. We actually feel alive." But you have to go through, it's like they realize, yeah, and they of course set the rules. First, you don't talk about Fight Club, no shirt, and you can't wear any footwear or anything like that. It's like until either your opponent is bloody, or they say I quit or whatever, but then they immediately embrace because it feels like it's a becoming of Gen Xers and anyone else saying like, hey, you can forget about the nihilism that was going on. Here, you feel like that you're something, but we don't want this to become a conglomerate, I was wondering, okay, why exactly don't you talk about it? Is it like this sacred thing that is only known to certain people, or is it because it seems like it's something so unattainable that you just want to keep it underground? I mean, that's part of it, but some of it is also like the legal ramifications, because one, you're hosting an illegal brawling get-together, and two, it could bring in some people some undesirables, I guess you could say, people investigating, and obviously for the injuries and stuff. So when I was 26 and I heard that, I'm like, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, obviously Brad Pitt and Edward Norton are friggin' fantastic in here. Norton is a really great actor. I mean, just check out Birdman, for example, and Brad Pitt. Yeah, freaking phenomenal. But here it feels like this is when it was a culmination of two personalities that where at what that like obviously Norton's is the more explosive one when he plays Tyler, and of course also even doing the narration of like saying how he's becoming this. He feels like he's living a milk toast life, and he's saying it's a copy of a copy of a copy. And so with living this life, I think that is they having all these IKEA products. I mean, it's like saying, hey, these, which is perfect for like when you're just starting off in life, like when you're in college or in your early 20s or whatever. That's fine, but then it's like saying, hey, like what's the next step? Like what's the big reward? Oh, it's just this never-ending hamster wheel. Well, and that's just a load of crud right there. So that's when these two start to meet, and when we get some great back and forth. I'm living for like roughly the first, I don't know, for the first hour. It's like it's them starting to get to know each other and start to bring in some colleagues, I guess, to find purpose and existence in their life. But then, more start to spring up. They even get like some corporate sponsorship or whatever, so they can have meetings daily rather than weekly. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually really good stuff. But then it really starts to get out there when, they start actually causing something called Project Mayhem. Where they really want to do quite the impactful stuff. And I'm like, yep, that's what happens when you start to lose the identity, because they even eventually realizes saying, hey, you have to follow exactly with how Tyler wants things. So it's like your name is gone. You're just you are a member. I mean, freaking Meatloaf. That's right, the singer, like a bat out of hell. I'll be gone for the morning is in here, and he's fantastic, playing the more. I mean, obviously he's in a fat suit that weighed over 50 pounds or something like that. That they call man tits. I'm just like, whatever. I mean, he's great in here. He's playing the one, the person who's like who's recognizes the unreliable narrator in the beginning, saying like saying, "Oh my goodness, it's like Cornelius, what are you doing here, man?" And so he wants to try and find greater purpose, but then when Robert Paulson dies, they say his name is Robert Paulson, so it's almost like he only has a name, but only a death after after Project Mayhem to stripping away the identity thing, and you're becoming a part of a assimilating and something better. But it's just another big I don't want to say orgy, but something that seems like it's great, but it's really not. Where you don't have any individuality, especially. Yeah, I could go ahead and make an Andrew Tate joke, but whatever, I don't care. Yeah, and of course we get Helena Bonham Carter in here, and she is spicy, you know, with the wits and ways that she has. She has the striking black hair. She's got the attitude and personality to match, so she's freaking great. And I'm just like, well, we all know her. From Harry Potter, so it's interesting to see her in like I said, a spicier role rather than just playing what she does bring a lot of personality here. So yeah, it's all the personalities. But it's also at the same time the nihilism in the beginning is where the narrator, he's trying to go all of these clubs and all these meetings and everything, just to try and find some purpose. And he does that. He goes to like AA and those who suffered from testicular cancer and everything. And yeah, it still resonates with a lot of people. I mean, I can understand it. Maybe if I saw this when I was like younger, my early 20s, I'd probably say like, oh yeah, this is definitely truly great. This is popular with all the film bros who love all the nihilistic movies or stuff. Like what the Coen brothers would do. Taxi Driver. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, just use that as a jumping point to get into some of the more obscure movies like The Driver from the 70s or anything with Bruce Dern. So, say what you will, The Godfather, of course, say what you will about that. This was written by Chuck, I forgot his last name, that he was actually camping And notice there's some people who were playing their music too loud, so he went and confronted them. They beat him up, and then his leg got broken. Returned to, I think it was his office job or something, and he expected people to ask him, but they just asked commonplace questions like, "How was your weekend?" Not noticing that his leg was injured, he realized, oh, they were going to ask me, and I realized they'd actually have to get personal and ask rather than just be neutral about things. So obviously, that's certainly a big factor. And yeah, I mean, what else can be said about that? I mean, you've got the writer's commentary by Chuck Palahniuk and Jim Olds, technical commentary Alex McDowell, Jeff Cronenworth, Michael Kaplan, Kevin Haug, yeah, director's commentary by David Fincher, commentary by David Fincher, Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, Helena Bonham Carter. It's just like, yeah. So obviously, you know, it's a freaking phenomenal movie. It is just one of those times that I want to go back and tell myself in the early 20s saying, hey, yeah, you're going to go through some stuff in life. Have Fight Club is one of the ways to help influence your life. So yeah, definitely watch this.